You're listening to the Annuity Agents Podcast with Anthony Owen. Anthony is the co-founder of a $20 million per year annuity agency, president of Annuity Agents Alliance and Annuity Innovation Systems, co-founder of Safe Money Radio Marketing, and monthly contributor to Think Advisor. Each week, Anthony and his partners at Annuity Agents Alliance update you on the annuity business with marketing, sales tools, sales process, and case design strategies. Before we get started, hit that like button and subscribe so you don't miss information that will help you build your annuity business.
Hello, everybody. This is Anthony Owen, president of Annuity Agents Alliance, and we have another special guest for you today. Our partner, Jared Wilkins, who runs the media program for our radio, the Media Buy, and we are very happy to introduce him also as our workshop solicitation system. And if you're doing workshops and you're spending $5,000 to $6,000 per workshop, you definitely want to listen to this, or even if you're just not getting great returns, we have a lot to share with you today that's going to help you lower the cost, increase your returns on your workshops, and just make you more productive and more efficient. So, Jared, welcome to the podcast.
Hey, Anthony, how are you today? You got the sun coming up?
Fantastic, buddy. Yeah, I got the sun coming up behind me. This time of year is always challenging because you wake up in the dark and it's a little hard getting going, but thanks for joining us early on my time, not your time, but let's go ahead and just jump right into this. Go ahead and share your screen and let's go over some of the things that we want to share today.
All right, sounds good. Let me just pull that up here. So I wanted to start off with, really just kind of go through the process at a high level, and that really starts with our intake form. We have advisors. They fill this out with basic information, and so that we're able to determine things like their budget level. So right here we have 2,000, we have 2,500, and then we have an other option. And the budget, obviously that's a big part of it. Most people at these $2,000 and $2,500 levels, they are running, they're doing like two events. So in the same week, they'll book a library or university extension or what, hotel. I've had people do country clubs, so wide open in terms of what they want to rent for their space. And, the budget depends, how big is the space, but usually we'll do, some people will just do one event, and some of them will do meals. That's probably the minority, but I would say the typical one is $2,500, and they're doing, they'll do like a Monday, Wednesday, a Tuesday, Thursday, a Thursday, Saturday, so two days or two events there.
So we're starting off with the good stuff right away. So you're saying that most of the people we're working with right now are doing two workshops for $2,500, right?
That's right. They're doing, but we do want to keep them like in the same week. That's, but and we'll get into that in a little bit. You don't
Tuesday, Thursday, something like that.
That's right. You don't want one to be on a Thursday and then the next one's on a Tuesday, because you don't want the ad dollars. You want those weekends. That's when a lot of people sign up, or on the weekends.
Right.
Yeah.
And then just for those of you who are listening who maybe haven't done a lot of workshops, the reason why we do that is because if someone's seeing your ad, you want to give them a chance to book a workshop when they're available. And if you only give them one option and they're not available, then they might not be able to book that workshop. So it's good to give them two different options.
That's right.
More efficient that way.
Great. Always prefer two options. And then we do have another option that I still have some people that do direct mail, and they like to supplement with digital. So, maybe you're already doing direct mail and you said, I want to do 1,500 or something like that, depending upon the size of the space that you're using. That is an option. So we're flexible. We try to work with people.
Got it. Or maybe you're advertising your workshop on your radio show or, anything like that. And so you just need a little bit of help to fill the rest of that room.
That's right. That's exactly right.
Great.
So we leave that other option. And then the rest is just the basic stuff so that we're able to build the ads. The subject, we'll get into that more with the ads. Most of the people we do, they do either Social Security or some form of broad-based retirement planning. We do list other again. I've got some people that want to do something specific like taxes, estate planning. So we've got different ads for those different types of subjects, if you will.
Yeah. So if you're working with an attorney or a CPA or something like that, and you want to have something more specialized like estate planning, we can facilitate all of those things.
That's right. So we do try to be flexible. It's a big part of what we're doing here. And then
we can do custom ad copy and all that, right?
We can. We've spent a lot of money, to kind of get the ads that work.
Right.
But we can. It's I've got some people that they want to rewrite everything, and then
right.
It's possible, but I prefer that they go with our copy.
Right. We run in the same thing with the radio program. I'll get someone started on the radio, and then a week after they're on the radio, they want to start rewriting everything.
Yes. Well, if they do want to, I mean, that's fine. I'm just kind of like, hey, you're the client. But I can't really, at that point, you please just don't get upset at us if it doesn't work.
Yeah. Cause you have to test things on a large scale to know that they work.
That's right. I mean, we spent, we've spent millions. I mean, because it was big before the COVID and then it died. And, so we've spent at least $1 million this year, through Facebook, I would say. Wow. But that just gets into other stuff like the pixel and the retargeting. We'll get into that in a minute. But here, so we've just got everything for your venue, your name and address, room capacity, just stuff on, do you need a disclosure? Do you have an FMO, broker dealer, endorsements, credentials, anything that we can do to make you look, as great as possible out there when we're marketing you. And so these are all just the basic stuff. And then since I'm kind of the admin here, you don't see it, but normally you would just click it and it would submit it. And then at that point, we have two ladies that build the ads and get them going in Facebook. So did you have any more questions on this intake form here?
No, but like there are some customizations that we can do that aren't going to upset the apple cart. Like, if you're an ed slot advisor or if you're, got other credentials, we can add all of those credentials and things like that. Anything that, for us, all of our partners are on annuity.com, and some of them are published authors on annuity.com. So we can add all those credentials, right?
Absolutely. And those would go right in the landing page. And sometimes, if you're an author or some of these other things, we'll put that in the ad copy, as
Got
well.
It. Right. Yeah.
But so you'll be able to see that where it goes into the ads and different stuff. And so the next part of the process is, so the ladies will build the ads in Facebook, and we have, we've spent a lot of money. We also have the ladies, they have a monthly call with a Facebook marketing expert, and they've been doing this for years. I kept her even when we were because we went to zero for a couple of years with this, but we've had time, to refine it and learn more. So this here is a standard Social Security seminar, and they had a $2,000 budget. And what Facebook does is, we allow it to, it says Advantage Campaign Budget. So it just distributes your budget. It knows when, people are more likely to see these ads or to sign up that are in our demo. And so, it's not going to serve a lot of ads and spend a lot of money at 2 a.m. It's probably not going to spend any. It knows that we're looking for like 55 plus, real specific. And, you might have 18-year-olds or 20-year-olds up at 2 a.m. But so it knows when to spend the money, and it spreads it out evenly. We like to start the ads 2 weeks prior to the event, and that gives us time to to really get it. The 2 weeks is just real optimal for us. So we get down in here a little bit deeper, and this is the point where you get to choose when it starts, which this was 2 weeks prior to the first one. And then you get down in here and you're able to choose your locations. This just happens to be in Omaha, Nebraska. And we put all genders, and we chose 53 to 65 plus here. So it gives us an estimated audience size of between 142,000 and 167,000. And that's a very good number. If we're in a real dense area like New Jersey, we'd probably take that radius down to 6 miles, and you might still have a couple 100,000 people. So it really varies. So we're able to, to put the different demographic stuff that, that it's the same for radio, that we're doing here. So that's, we've got all that in there. And then these are the actual ads where we have the ad copy that we've spent just tons of money on. All of this stuff is, we've got sources for it because people ask. And so we do have sources for any of the ads that we use. And so this is kind of going along here. Somebody's scrolling in their Facebook feed, and they see this little bit here about 90% of Social Security recipients receive less money than they're entitled. And then we get into how the SSA is not allowed to provide you with any, tax filing advice or anything like that. And people, they just get really, they get upset and angry, and they sign up for this stuff.
Yeah.
But I mean, it is.
Right. Yeah. No, you want them upset about something. There's got to be
that's
some
right.
emotion
So we've
involved.
got two different, and then we put the link to the landing page, which I'll get to that in a second. Here's another Social Security ad. This one's correct too. Most people lose an average of 111,000 due to filing mistakes. And so we got a couple different images, different seasons. It depends where they are. But then somebody clicks on learn more, and they're going to go to the landing page. And this is the landing page here. We use Eventbrite. We've used fancy landing pages, stuff that just you would think would convert. And I think just the nature of Eventbrite, it's just not salesy, it's more community. And but this is something here where they can just go in, they select a date. The first one's already.
I think that works is because it kind of looks like a website the government would put together.
Yeah, maybe so.
It does.
Well,
maybe about 5 to 8 years behind, and super simple. And
that's right. I mean, but even with you have to have a Facebook page. And so, our logo there, we try to push it as far as we can. So the my S, that SS there, it does at least look bureaucratic, if that makes sense. But they go to the landing page, they're able to choose from the multiple events. And, but this is also where, each person would have their own organizer profile here on Eventbrite. And so it's this guy's been doing them for a long time. He's got 59 followers,
wow.
Which is pretty amazing. So, but he's been doing it consistently for a while. But these are just very basic landing pages. The copy here, we have copy. You're certainly welcome to. To me, the most important copy is right here, because, most people, they don't, once they're kind of hooked, they'll check this out, but they don't spend a lot of time here. But this is a standard landing page. And at that point, once your ads are running and they're clicking on it and they're signing up, at that point, then everybody that works with us, they have the ability, they will have their own account that we'll create, which is basically a dashboard. And so they'll be able to go in and they'll be able to see all of their leads. You'll be able to download them into an Excel or like a CSV file there. So you're able to keep track of all of the leads. You're going to get phone number, address. I guess one of the core things to walk through, and then I'll let you ask questions, is that when somebody at this point, now that you're getting leads, when they sign up, they receive a confirmation email from Eventbrite at the moment that they sign up, and then they receive a reminder email about exactly 24 hours prior to the event. And so we don't, one of the differences that white glove is $6,000 or more is that they're calling all of these people that signed up and they're doing that other stuff, and we leave that up to the advisor's office. We recommend that they call, they try to have someone call and confirm that they're going to attend, but beside that, we're really just the top of the funnel. We get them signed up, they get their reminders, and then but I do recommend that the advisor's office, they have someone to reach out to them.
Yeah, and for the difference in price, you could hire someone, right? I mean,
sure. I mean, and it's not,
and then have them do a bunch of other things for your business too.
It's not a huge, if you have someone there, and they, this is real time, so they can come in every morning and they're going to have, probably 3 or 4 to call, something along those lines. And, I know people always want to talk about results, and, these are events that are ending here on this week. So November 2nd, 3rd, and this is just one event, but you can see that on average, I would say, we're probably, on average, we're probably about 30 per event, I would say, signups, and you're going to get probably, it depends how, 50% would be a high show up rate. I would say it's probably in the 40s, I would say. And we do have some that we do have people that use meals, not as much. Whenever you see a picture of a steak, that's going to be a dinner, pretty much.
Got it.
And I ask my ladies, I'm like, really, a steak? And they're like, we promise you, it does break. So
Yeah.
but these are, so we've if you could get 50 to 60, if you could get 50 to 60 signups and you get half of those, then that's a pretty average, I think, for the $2,500 budget, if that makes sense there.
Yeah, and I mean, for most partners that we work with, honestly, smaller groups and higher frequency is better. I mean, if you do a workshop and then have 60 people show up, you better have your processes and additional staff really wired, because you're going to have so much fallout with that kind of volume coming to you at once, unless you have all your ducks in a row. So if you have that large organization, we have partners that have staff and there's people sitting at the back of the room and doing intake forms as people get ready to leave the room and all that kind of stuff. That's great. I mean, this can be scaled for that. But for most of you, having 20 to 25 people in a room, or 15 to 20 people in a room, and then doing 2 of these a week, or 1 every other week, or something like that, or 2 every other week, is going to be about the right pace. You definitely want to do them consistently. And at this budget, there's no reason not to do that. I mean, you could do 4 workshops for the cost of what it usually takes to do 1 or 2. So, but higher frequency, lower sized audiences, I think, are better.
That's a good point. Another thing that we've learned is that you really, if you do too many, your ads will basically start to cannibalize themselves. And it just results in, it just doesn't work for some reason with Facebook. So you do want to, like, if you had your two events, let's say you have one today and, you'd want to schedule the next one 2 weeks out, so that, because we don't want the ads overlapping.
Right.
And I'm trying to find a solution to that, but you
But
just
you
you
could do
can't
different
you can just
locations too,
overdo it.
right?
Yes, yeah,
Yeah,
that's
you can
exactly
bounce
right.
from one location to another. So
You
maybe you're
could
only
just, if
hitting
you're in a
one
big
location
city,
a month.
yes, especially if you're in a bigger city, you can just
Hmm.
pop all over the place. That's right, because we can take those radiuses down to, in the dense areas to a
Or
smaller.
even rural, but you have, medium-sized towns, in different directions within a,
Oh yeah,
so many hours drive or whatever.
sure, yeah, yeah, definitely. The only other thing I wanted to mention on this page is that we've had a handful of people. There's this movie called The Baby Boomer Dilemma,
Right.
and it's really unique. They will rent out a theater and give folks like enough, give them popcorn and a drink, something like that. And so I've never, it's really kind of new, but you can see right here, this person has got 81 signups to go to that movie tomorrow. So really, that's just an entirely, I don't have a ton of data on it, but it's just different marketing, inviting people to a theater. So that's something that people, if they're interested in, you may know it, but there's a link where you can go and like purchase the
Yeah,
right
so
in a
we
theater.
have some partners doing that, and it's been pretty successful. One of the key things on the baby boomer dilemma is having your processes down for processing appointments, because
That many
if
people.
you,
Yeah.
yeah, if you just get them into a theater and then they all stand up and walk out. So there's some techniques to use to keep that from happening, and we work with our partners to help them make sure they're doing those techniques. So that is a great system. And Tom Hagna, I just had him on my last podcast. He's actually a partner with our radio program. He's going to be our keynote speaker at our upcoming conference in March, as he was in March before COVID started. So we're great partners with him and his team. And he's one of the key players in that Baby Boomer Dilemma movie. And a lot of our partners use his custom books and things like that. And so that is a great way to supplement your other workshop activity. That nothing is mutually exclusive, and the reason why we bring this to you is because a lot of our partners are on our radio program or doing our internet leads, but having a multifaceted marketing system, a marketing process, is so key, because you never know what's going to hit at any given time. And there's a lot of crossover, for example, with our internet reputation system, listing you on annuity.com, our Retire Village digital drip system that drips on your clients. All of these things can be integrated to workshops, and workshops can be integrated to radio, and internet leads can be integrated to workshops. Maybe someone's not willing to meet with you one-on-one, but you could invite them to your workshop, or you can invite them to listen to the radio show, or you could say, hey, would you like to receive some retirement information from me every 2 weeks, and then have our Retire Village digital drip system drip on that client. So all of these things are designed to work together. The goal is to get them down to the most reasonable cost, so you can do all these things, and then utilize our services to help you with case design and sales process, so we can increase your closure rate, increase your case size, which capitalizes these marketing systems on a bigger level. So it all works together. Jared is part of our team, just like so many other people that are doing helping us run this massive machine of multi-faceted marketing and sales processes. So if you want to get involved in this, if you're looking for a way to, I also wanted to mention, we also have mentorship for this. So we can tie in mentorship with this system. Our partner, Roy Snar, which is one of our big producers, but not big producers in what you might have been pitched by other FMOs. A lot of FMOs will get some $30 or $40 million producer up there, and his system is based more on his personality than his process. It's unduplicatable, and also very high budget. I can't tell you how many times I've seen some guy cross the stage and he's spending $150,000, $200,000 a year on marketing, and then he's supposed to teach you how to do it, and then of course you're not operating on that scale, and if you were, you wouldn't need his help. So we have a mentor that has a duplicatable workshop process. It doesn't cost you a dime. We pay for everything. And he gives you his slides, his presentations, coaching, everything is there to answer questions, everything from how do I set up the room to how do I get appointments. So we can tie that mentorship in with this program if you're not workshop savvy, and be able to help you get the most bang for the buck. Well, Jared, I appreciate you spending your time with us. Jared and I have been working together for over a decade. So we're, not only friends, but great business partners. And it's so great to have people like Jared in the business with us, because it adds a lot of value to our partners. So appreciate you joining us today, Jared.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Always good to see you. I was just in that office a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah.
The only thing I kind of failed to mention when you were talking about the drip systems and all that is, you're going to have 50% of those leads that don't show up.
Mm-hmm.
But they, so that's every time you're going to probably have 30 people that you'll be able to market to that you could put into those drip systems and whatnot, because you get access to all that. You just download it through the dashboard. But I appreciate you having me on to talk about it. It's the newest part of what we're doing, but you can see those numbers. We're doing really well. And so
while you're talking about that, so our Retire Village drip system, it's a website that is preloaded with a bunch of articles and videos, has your picture, your bio, your branding, your logo on it, but it's a database that sends out an email to your clients every 2 weeks with some solicitation about retirement materials and things like that. They respond to it. It goes directly back to you. Okay. And you get a report every day that shows who came to your website, what web pages they looked at. We can automatically feed the leads that come from this workshop marketing into that system. So you don't even have to put the leads in there. So they'll automatically get dripped on. So anybody that doesn't go to the workshop, or even does go to the workshop but doesn't book an appointment, or even someone that you sell, you didn't get all their money, they're going to continue to get dripped on through this system. So it's all integrated, and we can do that all for you. Well, once again, Jared, thank you so much. And if you have any questions, anybody, just contact us, annuityagentsialliance.com. Annuityagentsialliance.com. Go to the request info tab, fill out some information, or just give us a call at 888-742-4368, extension 100, and we'll be glad to help you. Have a great day.
Thanks for listening to the Annuity Agents Podcast with Anthony Owen. For more information on how Annuity Agents Alliance will help you build your annuity business, go to annuityagentsialliance.com. If you're watching on YouTube, please do us a favor and don't forget to hit that like button. Also, don't forget to subscribe and ring that bell to be notified of future podcasts. If listening on a podcast channel, please leave your rating and review if you like the show. The information and opinions expressed here by third parties or guests are believed to be reliable, but the information cannot be verified or guaranteed by Annuity Agents Alliance. The opinions of guests do not necessarily represent those of Annuity Agents Alliance or its partners. The prior information does not represent tax, legal, or investment advice and is for licensed financial professional use only.